Hi guys, Bran here with a special video today. We're going to be talking about what was released yesterday, which was on the DVD Twitter. They released 39 of the perks that they plan to look at for that 40 perk rework that they are doing in the recent update that they announced with their 6-year anniversary. They're going to be reworking 40 perks to try and shake up the meta of the game. And these are the perks here that we're going to be looking at, at least 39 of them that they are going to be looking at in order to make the game feel more fresh and feel more fun and kind of update the game in general. Now, main takeaway I took away the moment I looked at this is I have been saying ever since this has been released, ever since the 6th anniversary stream, that they're going to be looking at mostly changing the most used perks in the game as well as the least used perks in the game. So with that, I inherently said to myself, okay, they said they're going to change. They're going to change these perks. That does not necessarily mean that these perks that you see on the screen are going to necessarily be getting nerfs. I said that over and over. I said that until my chest was puffed up, but over and over again, D&D players would be like, "Oh, well, I see my favorite perk on there, so clearly it's getting nerfed." It's essentially, P-Brain 2 IQ gaming, basically just D&D players being the most outraged community that I've ever been the displeasure of being a part of in the gaming community. But that's a whole video. That's a whole rant that I can go on in a different video. But as you can see here, there's stuff here that like people never use, like lightweight, like off the record, like knockout, like no one gets left behind, like hope, like perks that people never use. Dark Devotion's up there. I see Dark Devotion up there. Perks that people barely run unless they're going for some niche funny build, but most of the time these perks just flat out are not being used at all. So Clearly, they're not going to go in and nerf Dark Devotion. Dark Devotion is not out here ruining people's games. Monstrous Shrine is dead center there. Monstrous Shrine is not out here ruining people's games, so they're not going to be nerfing Monstrous Shrine, which means some of your favorite perks, like Corrupt, like Barbecue, may be getting changes as opposed to nerfs. Borrowed Time's on there. Borrowed Time is very, very crucial to anti-tunneling in this game. It's more likely that perk will get a change and not a nerf. So like, just hold the jury. I'm not saying that they're not like what's behavior we're talking about here. I'm not saying that they're for sure not going to nerf these perks, but I'm saying just there are plenty of perks on this page that clearly are in the buff category. Like they're not going to nerf Overcharge because Overcharge is already pretty much useless unless you're using it in a very, very oppressive doctor build. So some of your perks that you see on here that you're very attached to that you actually use may also be in the change category and not necessarily just specifically the nerf category. So you got to think about that. Okay? I think this list looks pretty great for the most part for me. I feel like I see most of the problem perks. Obviously, I see DS, I see Dead Hard, but I also see like Ruin, I see Noed. I see a lot of the perks that are incredibly frustrating on both sides. It's interesting that I see Pain Resonance and not Dead Man's. I think that's interesting because I'm one of those people that feels like Dead Man's on its own, fine. Pain Resonance on its own, fine. It's when they're together they get kind of nutty. So I think it's interesting that they're going to only tackle one and not the other. I guess you kind of have to. I mean, like, I'm saying that in my head. I'm like, there's like, once I say that out loud, like how else do you handle that? Because you can't prevent people from running them together. So you kind of have to kind of like do something to just one and not the other. Because the perks are fine individually. It's just when they're stacked on top of each other, they start getting kind of nutty. Huh, I guess that does kind of make sense, huh? I don't know, I've just liked them both individually as perks. I like Dead Man's by itself, and I like Pain Resonance by itself. I think they're fun new perks that encourage you to stay in chase instead of, slowing down the game to, babysit gens. But I guess, yeah, just because I don't run both together doesn't mean that everybody else and their mom isn't when they're playing Killer, so... Yeah, I guess that's just the way it's got to be. Also, no Sprint Burst, no Unbreakable. Like, there's a lot of perks on here that are very, very, like, I can bring up some of the most used perks in the game, and there's a lot that are missing. There are a lot that are missing. Let me do that in like half a second. Yeah, Prove Thyself. I was looking at this list and I was like, there's something here that I absolutely detest that I don't see anywhere that needed to just be like destroyed from the game. Prove Thyself. You just get free gen progress just because you team up on a gen with somebody, which already gives you extra gen progress. You already naturally get more gen progress instead of just like Like, you already get natural gen progress increase from teaming up anyway. So Prove just makes it even worse. Prove is like the cheesiest perk in this game, because you just get, like, imagine if a killer could just equip a perk that if he downed somebody and chased quick enough, he just gets 2 hook states for free. Nobody would ever go for a perk like that. Nobody would ever be happy with a perk like that, but that's what Prove is for the survivor side. So I'm like, there's no sprint burst, there's no Prove, there's no unbreakable. Like, there's a lot of like hard meta perks that are literally just missing from this list, and that kind of worries me. That kind of freaks me out a little, because like, if you take like Dead Hard and you just like it, let's say they just nerf it into the ground. I don't want them to nerf it in the ground. I have a whole video on how you can make Dead Hard fair and keep it basically the same way it is. But if you nerf Dead Hard in the ground, and you nerf DS into the ground, it's gonna be sprint burst, unbreakable, Prove. Like they will wreak havoc with those perks if you don't change them along with it. I will still take the changes to Dead Hard and DS, don't get me wrong, but like it's kind of worrisome. I think in terms of like the killer problem perks, they've kind of hit everything on the head. I see Pop, I see Noed, I see Ruin. I hope they don't change Barbecue. Barbecue's fine. Corrupt's honestly fine as well. I'm hoping that what happens is that they take, see, I see BT and I see Corrupt both on here. I hope they integrate these into gameplay mechanics, and that's like their change. Like, they rework these and they make BT and Corrupt kind of part of the natural game flow, and not like, you know, nerfing them, because I feel like those are things that are kind of vital in a weird way to like playing the game well. Of course, obviously you can play without these perks, but obviously like Corrupt stops gen rushing, BT stops tunneling, which are both very, very unfun things in the game. So that's why they're the most commonly run perks. That's why they're always consistently some of the most run perks in the game, is because they prevent the most unfun parts of the game from happening without being unfair. So I really hope that the reason they're on there is because they're being integrated into the gameplay flow. That would be nice. And I think I'll top this off here. I'm very, very excited to see what they do with like Knockout or like Soul Survivor. Like, do we want to live in a world where like lightweight is something that I actually run on a build to do some fun shenanigans? I don't know, that just sounds interesting. I just like the idea of like, oh wow, lightweight, I can run a build with that, and that's gonna be fun. You know, like, I can't wait till this stuff comes out and there's just like weird new builds we run, and we're all like geeking out about like, hey, look, I can do this stupid thing with a Knockout, and now they have no idea where they are. You know, just silly stuff that I can't wait to have exist, because oh man, that's just gonna be fun to experience and discover together. Also, final aside, Hattie just came out, and she already has one of her perks up here. Like, if you don't know what that one is, I forget the name off the top of my head, but that's the one where if you pop a totem, you get increased gen speed until you're healed, or until you're hit again, until you're injured again. Which I find, once again, very odd that Prove is not on this list. Prove Thyself is not on this list. But hey, yo, we gotta prevent this thing from doing the things it does. Or maybe they're gonna buff it. I don't know. Maybe they're just all for like free gen progress. I don't know. That kind of worries me. Anyways, that's what I think about these. Hopefully that does turn out to a more fun and exciting gameplay experience when they finally change all these perks. I can't wait to go through all this with you, because you know I do focus really hard on perk power in this game. I think the perks by and large are too powerful in this game, and that's why we complain about them so much. So maybe they just tone it all down. That'd be pretty cool if they just tone it all down. But yeah, hopefully it results in a better, more fun experience for both sides. I guess we'll have to wait and see for when it comes out. But other than that, those are my thoughts on the 40 perk change. At least the perks that they're looking at. What do you think? What are your concerns? Because I feel like there's a lot of concerns. Like, you look at this as a hardcore survivor main, you look at this as a hardcore killer main. I feel like there's a lot of things you look at and you're like, oh no. I don't know. I feel like as a survivor main, like I said, Noed, Pop, Ruin, Scourge, Pain Resonance, like, I don't know. They kind of got the problem perks for the survivor side pretty nailed down, which is a good thing. I'm very happy they did that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm going to end this video before I keep ranting, because this video is going to get really, really long. Thank you so much for watching, friends. I will see you in tomorrow's video. But if I do not, I will see you when I see you. Goodbye.